Meet the Havens. I'd make a sarcastic comment, but I can't come up with anything. Something tells me they will not be very havenly, as in heavenly. After we've had that episode in the movie thing, let's move on. Because what else can you really say? That looks promising. I don't know. Ominous. Words are being said.
Did you two have yourselves a good time?
Yes, Mom, we did. It's a shame you couldn't be there with us. Because of... well, you know.
Carly, I think it's best that you give me and your mother some privacy. It's been a long night. Why don't you go to your room and have a little downtime before bed?
Alright, Dad, if you insist. I love you both, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Carly. We'll see you in the morning. Is it too much to ask of our own 17-year-old daughter to be on her best behavior? Especially when I plan out an entire night for the whole family.
What happened at the movie theater tonight is not your fault, dear. Taylor has nobody to blame but herself. She chose to make poor decisions, and now she's facing the consequences.
True.
I know. But I just wish things could be different. It's the same old thing with Taylor. She acts up, lands herself into trouble, then faces the consequences when she has to answer to us. Her troublemaking has gotten worse ever since we moved here.
Jade, you shouldn't beat yourself up like that. Despite the sacrifices we've had to make, your new courthouse job here in Tyndale Valley is giving all of us a much-needed change of scenery, and will give this family a chance to start over. Taylor may not be showing any changes, but Carly's a completely different story. She's doing what she can to make new friends, landed herself her very first job, and recently started doing meditation as a hobby, which has made her life much easier.
You're right, Dan, and I'm very proud of Carly for all of her progress. It's just not right that she's had to suffer quite a bit because of Taylor's behavior over these many years. And after tonight, I'm just not sure how Taylor should be punished.
Come on, why don't we go upstairs and get settled in for the night? We'll discuss Taylor's punishments in the morning.
So wait, this is they're still talking about this sort of thing after the movie theater incident? Well, I guess I could have taken one kid home and then just have the other one stay out. I can make a lot of comments, but I choose not to. God dang Skype!
Hey Carly, what's up?
Oh, hi Jason. I wasn't expecting you to be calling me at this time. I was in the middle of some meditation.
You were? That's cool that you're taking up such a hobby. You know, my cousin Mike and his girlfriend Jackie also do meditation at a Buddhist temple in the city.
Good for them.
You should consider taking a session or even a class with them sometime.
I'll think about it. No promises though. I like to try and meditate at my own pace.
Understandable. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just calling to let you know that I found someone you might be interested in making friends with.
The
Really?
logo is
Who
doubled.
is it?
Huh.
His name is Jace. Jace Hubbard to be more precise.
He's the name
He
of the
lives in
franchise,
Tyndale Valley,
wait.
in the same neighborhood my girlfriend lives in. He's a little shy at first, but is nonetheless quite the character, and a really nice guy once he opens up.
Interesting. Sounds like he's someone to look into. But I'm a little curious. What did you mean when you said that this Jace is quite the character?
Believe me, it's best you don't find out until you see the poster in his room. But regardless, he's a pretty awesome guy to hang out with. Me and my friends should know. You should send him a friend request and ask him to meet up sometime.
Well, I don't know Jason. If I send this, Jace Hubbard, a friend request, he might just decline it. Probably won't even take notice.
You won't know for
Not gonna
sure
lie, I
unless
do
you
that
try
depending on
calling.
who the friend request is
Consider
from.
giving it a shot.
I see a
I'll
friend
go
request.
now, and
I get
get ready
spam
for
friend requests all the time by people
Talk to
who
you
from
later.
like these supermodel and they're like, yeah, this isn't a scam. I'm that stupid.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting to see that. Normally you're in the middle of meditation right about now.
How much of that conversation did you hear?
Not a lot, but I heard just enough to get an understanding that you're feeling a little hesitant.
You really think so? I doubt that, Dad. It was nothing more
Is Jason supposed
than
to
a
be one of the
conversation
guys
I
that
wasn't
stole the Paw
expecting to
Patrol
happen
DVDs?
tonight.
Because that's what I
Even if
assume
that
of
was
it,
true,
given the
Carly,
fact that
your
he
current facial and
saw
physical
inside,
expressions
saw his
are
face,
clearly telling
saw the
me
poster,
another
you know?
story. You don't have to try and hide it.
Biggs
Be
and
honest
Wedge, I
with
think it
me.
was, something like that.
Are you feeling a little hesitant?
Tiny and something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess so.
Honey, what's on your mind? Normally you're not like this. Is it because of what happened with your sister? Or is it because of something else?
Actually, both. Mom had tonight all planned out, for all of us as a family, and Taylor went out of her way to ruin it, by making a huge scene by having a tantrum.
Man
And
plans, God
even
laughs.
though I have my own personal space, and have found inner peace thanks to my meditation, there's no escaping from the truth, that Taylor's made my life difficult, and much harder.
I know, honey. Taylor's actions have made all of our lives in this family much more difficult. There have been many sacrifices that have had to be made, for all of us, and your mother and I agree, that it's not right that you also have to suffer. After we moved here back in January, Taylor's behavior has gotten worse. And believe me, this wouldn't have happened, had it not been for those no-good friends of hers she's been hanging out with. Especially, that no-good troublemaker, Jerome McGrath.
Yeah, you're right, but even so, the damage has already been done. And Taylor
Look at her
won't
throwing out
simply
these names like
abandon
we're
her
supposed to
current
know
peers.
them.
She's made her choice.
Carly, do you
Sound
remember
great
that
thought.
special passage that your grandmother wrote many years ago, and used to tell you? Back when you were really little.
The times in the past cannot be changed. Their chapters and stories have already been written.
Yep. And do you remember how the rest of that passage goes?
The future, on the other hand, has chapters that have not yet been written, and you must choose how you will write them down.
Exactly. Your grandmother always said that that passage can have a meaning for one's life, whether the choices are bad or good. The choices Taylor is making in her life are bad. But you're doing the complete opposite, by making choices that are good. Don't let hesitation make those choices harder for you. As your father, deep down, I truly believe you'll continue to make the right choices, no matter how things may seem, or how you may feel.
Support a family.
Now that that's said and done, you should get ready for bed, try and get some sleep, and put what's happened tonight away for good. I love you, Carly.
I love you too, Dad. And thank you for giving me some reassurance.
Of course. Your mother and I are always here for you, if you ever need to share your thoughts, concerns, or feelings. And I'm sure your friends would do the same.
It's good to have such a supportive family. Shame about that one bad egg, though. Three cars. Well, maybe one is the neighbor's.
Finally, everyone is fast asleep, meaning I can do as I please. It's absolutely unfair how I have to be punished, after my parents refused to let me see Fantasy Island, and Carly opened her pretty little mouth to be the annoying sister she is. Well, it doesn't matter. They deserve everything that they have coming to them. Now then, let's see what's available, and up for grabs to snack on in the kitchen.
You're going to get payback by eating their food? Don't you do that normally, being their kid? I guess one is the case that she's in punishment, even though she isn't really.
Well, well, well. Taylor Rosehaven, you just hit the jackpot. Leftover chocolate cake from Cousin Megan's birthday party. And it's all mine. I'm sure nobody will mind if I just finish it off.
Nom 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 nom.
This cake is going to be so delicious.
Busted?
Taylor,
Gun.
what the hell? It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you gave me the impression that someone broke into the house. I was literally seconds away from pulling the gosh darn trigger.
Oh, were you now? I can't
Why did
believe
you have a gun?
Claim to be Little Miss Perfect, someone who doesn't get into trouble.
You're a
with
teenager.
mom and
What are
dad.
you doing
Yet
packing
you were
heat?
standing over there, ready to shoot your own sister.
Do you think I'm actually stupid and heartless enough to actually do something like that?
Maybe it was a
Evidently,
tranquilizer.
Yes. And you're not even supposed to be in possession of one of Dad's firearms. So
Seriously?
You're just as guilty as me.
At least I had a reason for borrowing one of Dad's firearms. I
Did you
was
sneak
scared
into
for my
his room and
safety,
steal a
as well as
gun?
Mom and Dad's. Plus, I've had plenty of firearm safety training. Also, why is this chocolate
Why'd you have
cake sitting on the
Why'd you
counter?
have freaking
I don't
firing
have to
safety
tell
when
you.
training
It's
when you
none
can't
of
even
your
shoot a
individual
gun?
business.
Taylor, Carly,
Ah,
what is
shit.
with all of this loud racket? Do you two have any idea how early in the morning it is?
And why is that leftover chocolate cake from your cousin Megan's birthday party?
And why do you have a gun?
We want an explanation, right now, from both of you. Starting with you, Carly. Explain your side of the story.
Well, I was fast asleep in my room, enjoying a wonderful dream, when all of a sudden, I was awoken by the sound of the floor creaking out in the hallway. To me, it really sounded like someone broke into the house. And I didn't want to wake you two and have you get mad at me for waking you up early, so I took matters into my
Just
own
go see if
hands.
she's hiding the gun
I
behind her
grabbed one of
back.
Dad's firearms and
Or not.
cautiously checked all around the house, to see if I could spot anyone. Eventually I heard noises coming from the kitchen, so I approached with caution, turned on the light switch and pointed the gun at what I thought was the robber, when in reality, it was just Taylor, with the cake sitting in front of her on the counter. I'm going to bet anything that she was going to eat that whole cake in one sitting. I was going to confront Taylor more about the cake, but then you two came into the kitchen. And that is my side of the story. I admit, I was wrong to take one of Dad's guns in the
The
first
picture
place,
on
and
the
I'm
cake
really
is
sorry
disturbing.
I just
'Cause I
wanted
think
to
I
do
know
what
what
I
it
thought
is,
was
and I
right,
don't wanna be
and
right.
protect this family.
I'm just not going to
Well,
say what it
Carly,
is.
if you are being truthful with us, we're glad you admitted to what you did wrong, but we're still a little disappointed with you. It was very dangerous for you to take one of your dad's firearms without permission.
So, am I
I like
going
how
to
she
get
could hear the
punished?
floorboards creak,
that's going
but
to
he
depend
can't
on what Taylor has to say
hear.
with her
There's
side
someone
of the
stealing his
story, Carly.
guns.
You might be getting
Assuming
off
he was in
easy,
his room,
or
of
you
course.
might be facing serious consequences. It's all going to depend if your sister will be honest with us.
I mean, some are heavy
All right,
sleepers, but
Taylor, your turn. And we're going to give you a warning. You're already facing consequences after what happened at the movie theater. So if you lie to us, you're going to be in even more trouble. Now, what's your side of the story?
it was all her fault.
Alright, this is my side of the story. I was fast asleep in my room, but then I woke up because I felt really thirsty, so I decided to come downstairs and get a drink. When I came into the kitchen,
You
Carly
grabbed a
was
cake by
eating a
accident.
cake, and she saw me.
Eating
had
the
one of
cake?
Dad's
Is there any
firearms in
signs
her
that she had
hand
this
and threatened
eating
to shoot
it?
me if I told anyone. I confronted her about it, and then eventually, you two came into the kitchen. And that's my side of the story.
Let's see.
You're lying, Taylor.
No, I'm not.
You
You're
have the
just lying
fucking
so you
streak.
can get me into more trouble.
Both of you knock it off.
You're the
and
one that
look
has
at
the
us
liar
because we
streak.
have something to say.
Turn around and look up.
A surveillance camera in their
A
own
security
house.
camera?
This has to be a joke, right?
You seem surprised, Taylor. Well, now you know about our new home security system.
I would be
which was
surprised,
installed
except I
while
know
we
that some
were out
people
having
have
our
them.
family night. I wonder if the footage will back up your story.
Great. Now I'm definitely screwed.
You
Big
did this
time.
to yourself. And I'm sure you'll somehow blame everyone else. Oy vey. It's really sad that we had those people who just figured they'd be like, okay, I'm already deep inside this trench. I'm fucked. I'm screwed. Might as well dig deeper. It's like this thing I've seen be like you can't go any further once you hit rock bottom. And then the other guy just goes, on the contrary, I brought a shovel and I prepared to start digging. That's essentially what she's going through right now. Just be like, you're already screwed. Stop making it worse. Then again, I've also been in that situation where I'm like, I've been in this chain of life for so long, I don't know what to do I don't know what would happen if I tell the truth now. But then again, these are two different situations. Oh wait. the same time, who would think she has a surveillance camera? Considering who has a well, I say that people have surveillance cameras in their own house, but at the same time, thinking to myself, that's more normal houses. That's more like a mansion or something, not so much a normal everyday house. I mean, some people have surveillance cameras for outside their house. That makes sense to me, but maybe their garage. But it's like, you know, inside the house. Then again, this is Tyndale Valley, where it's just like, it's mostly realistic, but I guess you could just let one or two things slide just to be like that. I mean, I don't know anyone in my neighborhood who has surveillance cameras in their house, but then again, that could also just be the case where just my neighborhood. Maybe other neighborhoods would be like, oh yeah, I have surveillance cameras everywhere. I got one in the bathroom and in the shower or something like that, you know? Maybe it just depends on where you grow up. I guess it's just, or just one of those things you'd be like, yeah, let me just have this one, you know? I mean, we had burglars who broke into the house to steal Paw Patrol DVDs. I'm sorry. Wait, no, it was DVDs. I was about to say DVD singular, but they did steal more. They just lost it over time. So, yeah. Anyway, it was interesting to see this series from, you know, not Jace and Jessica's point of view. Just nice to see someone else's point of view and their perspective in all this. Yeah. So, she's still a bitch, and the other one's improving in her life. That's good. I'm sorry I can't really say their names, just in case, be like, I have to get used to them first. I just gonna call them Jessica 3 and Jessica 4. No, Jace, I won't let that die. Over your dead body, because I sure as fuck ain't dying. Ugh. I don't know what I'm doing. Either way, neat. See you.